and she only sells it during the summer in the park in Westfield. That's where I met her, at the farmer's market. These farmer markets we have around here are just wonderful. Westfield has a great one every Saturday morning, like most of them. And I buy them, but then I said, what am I going to do now, Kate? What am I going to do when you're not here in the winter? She said, well, if you want, I'll make you a few loaves when I make my bread, and you can come and pick them up. Been doing it. It works. All right, so don't forget, Reed, get the bread today. Today's Saturday, first Saturday of the month. All right, local news. We got the ARP chapter. They meet at the Kosciuszko Club, and they have leaders from all over the county and senior groups who kind of come, and anybody can join it. And you talk about senior matters, and you work on senior matters, you legislate, you do what you can, which is not much these days because they're not listening to seniors. And they had a wonderful, I want to say they had a wonderful dinner there. They had turkey with dressing and ham and pineapple sauce and mash and squash and salad, and dessert. Oh, Cherry's Jubilee probably. What a bunch. ARP. Chapter 299, I might add. We don't want to confuse that with Chapter 298. All right, they're not in jail. Brockton, the Brockton Portland seniors, they meet regularly over there monthly, and they often have a catered dinner by the Green Arches restaurant. You know, the Green Arches, they've been there since they built Brockton, I think. And they paint them every year and take care of them, and the Green Arches are still there in Brockton. If you haven't noticed them, look up when you pass the main street, the main drag. There's a restaurant there. And they cater for the seniors over there who always meet, not always, but usually at the American Legion in Brockton. And it's Brockton, Portland together. You know, Portland is a town of Brockton and Portland Hamlet. It's kind of confusing, but whatever. Homemade cookies. Pat Zangi, thank you very much. And the president over there is Tom DeJoe. He's doing the job. They have always a tremendous gang. And, of course, afterwards, they play bingo. They're new officers. Everybody's got new officers. Mary Presco sent out a get-well card, too, to Alberta Blakely and Emma Colt. There's not going to be a meeting for the month of January and February. Don't go over for your meeting. It's been canceled due to the oncoming weather. Smart people over there. Dunkirk Federated Senior Citizens. All right. They meet at the Dunkirk Senior Center. They have a beautiful center there, and Betty Korzeniowski is the president, does the job. And Jean Kubera read a poem titled "Let Us Worship Him." They do a sermon, and they do a little prayer. And I wanted to also say, I got something else here from them. The helpers of the day are very important. They're the ones who provide the coffee and the cookies, and you have a fellowship period, which is very important, when you just get to sit around and rap with your friends and your new family, and join your group if you aren't already a member. Shirley Palmentier and Jean Kubera and Ruth McCoyak won attendance prizes over there. President Kozinski made a motion to adjourn. Bingo. Yeah, everybody plays bingo after the meeting. Westfield has a great gang over there, but they had to cancel their Christmas party because of the inclement weather. It was just, you remember, Christmas was a pretty bad day. So they're going to swing it over to Valentine's Day. Why not? You know, it sounds great. And the January 14th meeting, which is the next meeting, will be a potluck dinner as usual. Everybody brings something nice and brings your dishes and so forth, and you have a great dinner, and usually the main course is provided by the Senior Center. And they meet at the Y in Westfield instead, YWCA. There used to be a YMCA in Westfield. It's where Key Bank is now. And I grew up there. That's where I learned to fight. New officers over there. Shirley Copine, old officer. Vice President Geraldine Harper. Treasurer Dolores Kaufman. Secretary Sylvia Colby. And a get-to-know-each-other session will follow. The meetings. Then bingo. All right, I got a lot of stuff here. They're telling me the time is up. No more news. They say, spare us. No more news. All right, no more news. We're going to get on with a geezer, but I have a public service announcement for you, and this is just for you, so here you go.
Computer.
I'd never been outside of Seattle.
Never even thought about being a volunteer.
Until the Rotary Club gave me an opportunity.
At our high school here in Seattle, Rotary Club supports a program called Computers for the World.
We would build older computers and then personally take them to places where people can't afford them.
We've taken computers to Mozambique,
Lima, Mexico,
and in my hometown in Russia.
It's a big effort and everybody contributes. The students, the teachers, and the Rotary volunteers.
We get real-world experience that we need to be successful.
I've learned so much just by volunteering.
Computers for the World is one of many Rotary programs that relies upon volunteers of all ages from the community.
It's my way of making a positive impact on the lives of others.
It's a great example of the power of volunteerism.
You should volunteer. The world is counting on you.
Here he is, a geezer. He shoots from the hip, Mort Flexer.
Good morning, Reed. Good morning, Jane, and welcome. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to you, too. Jane, you're bringing back memories. The prettiest girl in my grade school class was named Jane.
Oh.
Jane Chautauqua.
Oh.
Growing up in Brooklyn, you get a lot of names like Chautauqua.
Yeah, well, the ugliest girl in my class was named Jane.
Yeah.
In any event. God, she was beautiful.
Oh.
Now I forgot what the heck I was going to talk about.
Mort, you were going to tell us about ads on television that
Oh,
make
well,
you crazy.
Yeah, thank you, Reed. One of the ads that Reed's referring to is, oh, for God's sake, Reed, my
All right,
mind
thank
is
you, Mort, for another illuminating session.
No, now we're getting ready for the new year, folks, and it's time to start looking ahead. Check your will out, number one, because if you're like me, it's probably 5 years or so outdated. And I'm happy to say I spoke to my attorney, and we're going to come up with a new will. I think my kids were infants at the time. I drew the will up. Now my grandchildren are grown up. So I take the money away from my children and give it to the grandchildren. I suppose we all do that as we get older. But in any event, the new year is here. Time for you to drag out the old documents and check them out. Make sure you've got a current will. Make sure you're banking in the right place. Double check your investments. Discuss them with your advisor. And get ready for a new year. And God knows what the heck is coming at the rate things are going. I know Reed's upset by the 2 wars we have, yet I have a hunch Congress would like a couple of more wars to keep our mind off the mess they're making of our government. But anyway, sharpen up, get the will current, forget about Congress. They're a pain in the you-know-what, and I don't think they'll ever have a brain again, either individually or collectively. Reed, thank you.
Thank you, Mort. I think you reflect what the seniors around this country feel, and I have a feeling most of them are going to go down and try to vote these people out who are not representing us. It's a disaster scene, as you're right. Okay, we have a guest with us. Let's get on the bright side of things. I've got a guest with me. Her name is Jane, as mentioned, and her name is Jane Conroe. She represents the Chautauqua Lake Conservancy, which is a group that sort of watches, it's a watchdog group over our lake. The Great Lake, the granddaddy of all here, is Chautauqua, and they also check the other lakes out a little bit too. We have some other great lakes, you know. And the best one of all, of course, I think, is Casadega of the small lakes. It's really a lovely lake. But there was a rumor many years ago that it's full of snapping turtles. And they gang up on you and drag you down and eat you. But so far, nobody's been found eaten by the snapping turtles, although apparently if you do die there and roll around for a while, they may take a bite or two out of you. But that's something unexpected. We have many lakes. We have Finley Lake, we have Castaic, of course, Chautauqua. We have Bear Lake is
Bear
right
Lake?
around here.
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss any? That's about it, isn't it?
Finley Lake,
yeah.
and there are a couple small ponds that sometimes don't get any recognition, and
Yeah.
I'd have to go to the map to really find them
I've
too.
got one that's almost a lake adjoining my property up in the hill in Mayville. It's a huge, huge